Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Hey, baby, how are you doing today?
I'm great. And yourself?
Awesome. I get to work with my wife every day. I mean, how much more awesome could it be than that?
Yeah.
Most days that is a good thing. There's some days when you're mad at me, then that's not such a good thing. Hey, the scientific staffing company of Des Plaines, Illinois, did a research to find out the most effective way for companies to retain scientific professionals. According to their study, the best way is to give them better pay and benefits.
All right.
They had to do a study on that. How do we keep people happy and keep them here? I don't know. Better pay and benefits. I think that would work for anybody in any profession, not just scientific professionals. Now, I got to tell you, I didn't do a study on that, so I'm not exactly sure. A Tufts University study of mice found that pregnancy sends new stem cells to a woman's brain and rejuvenates her mind. So every time you have a baby, apparently it rejuvenates your mind. There are some ladies out there that should be really, really, really rejuvenated.
Good deal.
Yeah. Coming up in a bit, we got special things happening today. Hey, it's no St. Patty's Day, but we still got stuff. We'll tell you what it is in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Friday, March the 18th. It is Awkward Moment Day.
We have a lot of awkward moment days.
Yeah. Awkward Moment Day today. I'm just trying to create an awkward moment to celebrate. It's also Forgive Mom and Dad Day, kids. And it's National Biodiesel Day. So you got all that stuff going for you. Do you think there could be some awkward moments while you're trying to forgive Mom and Dad?
Probably, yeah.
I wonder what you need to forgive Mom and Dad for.
Lots of people have parents they need to forgive.
Were they estranged?
Yes.
I'm glad that we're not estranged from
Me too.
my parents or your
Me
parents.
too.
Or my dad's dead, so we're kind of estranged from him because he's dead. But I'm glad that we stay in touch with my mom and your mom and dad and all that stuff.
Me too.
Good stuff.
It's important. Family's important.
Another awkward moment right there as well. So thank you so much for listening on Awkward Moments Day. It's Friday, the 18th day of March.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by Knowles Systems. If you have funds earning less than 6%, listen to this. Commercial mortgage bridge loans pay 6% to 8%. That might be just what you need. You're placed in first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels, apartments, and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges, and you can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. I'll give you a toll-free number to call, 888-547-8007. Start earning 6% now. Call 888-547-8007.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Sometimes even the people who invent new gadgets can't figure out how to use the gadgets. Technical University of Eindhoven, whatever that is, it's in the Netherlands. They found that half of the gadgets returned to stores as malfunctioning actually work just fine, but the customer just couldn't figure out how to operate it. With the flood of new devices, from MP3 players to home theaters hitting stores, the new study found that the average U.S. consumer will struggle with a new one for about 20 minutes before finally giving up. The researchers also gave new gadgets to a group of Philips Electronics managers, and they sent them home with them over the weekend. They came back frustrated because even they couldn't figure out how to get some of these things to work.
Huh.
So
maybe they're making it a little too complicated.
I think so. I'll tell you, the funny thing in our house, my beautiful bride over here, Heidi, you're pretty technical. Like, you programmed the garage door buttons on the car.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do
That's
that. I didn't
easy
even
to do.
I didn't even check into it because you just did it. And I was like, that's cool. I wish that you would have put this door on this one and that door on that one, like where they are. But because how many times do I pull in the driveway and open the wrong garage door?
It doesn't matter.
You think I would have still done that?
Yeah.
Probably. But and the remote controls. Now, in the past, you were always the one that would take the universal remote control and make it work.
Yes.
I bought a new universal remote control, and I got to program that. It was pretty darn easy to program.
Yeah, it's not difficult.
But-
You just got to follow the instructions.
Well, see, I might have to have you program the radio, the stereo one, because I can't make that work.
Okay.
So I don't know what I did wrong. And according to this study, I shouldn't feel bad because even the people that invent some of this stuff don't know what the heck they're doing. So there you go. All I know is it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. You've heard of a DUI, driving under the influence. How about a BUI, biking under the influence? Police in Cincinnati say they busted a drunk man who was riding his bicycle in traffic. Officers say they stopped Archie Johnson after seeing his bicycle swerving all over the place. Police reported that his blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit. He's now charged with operating a vehicle under the influence and...
A bicycle is considered a vehicle?
Apparently. It's not a
That's
motor
ridiculous.
vehicle.
You're not going to run somebody over, and if you do, what's the worst that's going to happen?
I actually have been run over by a bicycle.
And you're still here to talk about it.
I am here to talk about it, but
perfectly fine.
I have trauma every time I see the Tour de France or anything on TV.
I mean, I could see giving him a public intoxication, but giving him an operating a vehicle, well, that seems
I've noticed
extreme
over
to
this
me.
last week, you've been on the drunk people side a lot.
Well, that just seems extreme to me. Don't you think that seems ridiculous? He's on a bicycle.
Well,
it's
he
not
also
like he
got
jumped
charged-
behind the wheel of a car. He should be getting props for that, not punishments.
He was also charged with resisting arrest, so it turns out he wasn't the greatest of people. So,
I didn't say he was a great guy. I just
Heidi
said
wants
that
to hang out with
punishment.
this man. So.
I just said that
Archie.
punishment was extreme.
Heidi wants to hang out. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about some dog repellent. It's on the way.
John and Heidi.
Have you ever heard of dog repellent?
No, why would anyone want dog
a
repellent?
Louisiana mailman had the unfortunate experience of being sprayed with his own dog repellent. A postal worker was making his rounds in Slidell, Louisiana, around midday on Saturday when an angry, growling dog approached. The postman whipped out his can of government-issued dog repellent and got off 2 quick shots as the dog started snarling. That's when the dog's master, Joe Bates, decided he's going to get involved. Already, Bates allegedly ran up and knocked the can out of the mailman's hand, picked it up, and sprayed him in the face.
Oh.
The postal worker took off, but not fast enough. He got hit squarely in the back as well. Bates threw the can at him. That's what he got hit for. He was arrested later for aggravated battery, by the way. The man that lived there, not the mailman.
I was going to say, which one?
So his dog was being mean, and then this guy decided, hey, I'm going to show you who's mean around here. I'm going to be even more mean. So there's your moment of duh. We've got your scoop of the day on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. Astronaut Scott Kelly got back from space. Was that like a week ago? Now he announced he's planning to return. You didn't see it in the news anywhere? I don't pay
attention to the
Are you
space
serious?
stuff. That doesn't excite me at all, so I really don't pay any attention.
I'm kind of into that. I think Scott Kelly and I are friends on Facebook, so we were chatting back and forth. Either that or somebody else is just pretending to be him. All of the shots looked very green screened. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Anyway, he got back from space. He's announced he's going to retire from NASA in April. He spent 340 days in space during the year-long mission. Altogether now, he has spent 520 days in space. I believe he is the person who's been in space the most. That's a long time. Hey, have you ever heard of Hometown Cafe? It's an all-you-can-eat restaurant chain. They filed for bankruptcy. So apparently people were eating all they could eat. Police in Tennessee allege that a suspect burglar broke into a residence last week and told the homeowner he was there to save Taylor Swift. And he claimed that Taylor Swift was his wife, and he was trying to find her. Pretty sure that guy has some issues. Due to a risk of fire or explosion, the New York Police Department is advising New Yorkers not to sleep with their cell phones.
I've heard this.
So don't sleep with your cell phone because it, according to the NYPD, could explode or cause risk of fire. So that's something that's going to make me not be able to fall asleep tonight. All right, running on empty might not be such a bad idea after all. Though many athletes eat before training, some scientists say that if you really want to get rid of more fat, you should skip the pre-workout snack. So they're saying that if you're really trying to, lose some weight, don't have the snack before you work out. Here's my thing. I have the pre-workout snack, and I have a post-workout snack. I just skip the workout. So maybe that would help if I'd quit skipping the workout. Do you think?
Probably, just a little.
Help a little bit. All right, turn on your TV during prime time, and you'll inevitably see a load of celebrity faces, ranging from Oscar winners. Wasn't that the guy that was in that one show? Anyway, there's all kinds of stars advertising things, stars in advertising. That's something that's been going on for decades. But scientists say that people just don't care anymore. And they're saying that now having a celebrity attached to a brand could actually have a negative impact on the brand. So you might see fewer and fewer people pimping products here in the very near future. Can you tell I didn't pre-read that story?
Yes, but I will say that that's true because you
Sorry
never
about
know
that.
when your product is hinged to a human being, and humans are known notoriously for doing stupid crap.
Yeah.
Then your product goes down with that.
Exactly.
With that celebrity.
Well, and according to this, they're saying there's a lot of people now who don't believe what that celebrity's saying. They're like, they're just paying them to say it, so who cares? So anyway, in a survey by the Atkins Diet folks, we learned that 54% think about food more than sex. 1 in 10 would feel worse cheating on a diet than on their partner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's ridiculous.
A recent study shows that nearly half of defensive and offensive linemen playing in high school football in Iowa are overweight. 1 in 10 could be considered severely obese. Players say there's pressure to bulk up and get bigger, whether it comes from parents or coaches or within. They say they'll look up to college pro football players, some who top 300 pounds. So they're saying in Iowa, anyway, nearly half are overweight. By day, Gil wears the uniform of the Michigan State Police. By night, you'll find him doing stand-up comedy. Gil was named the world's funniest cop at a police conference in 2006. He even appreciates humor from the people he pulls over. Gil says if you make him laugh, he'll probably let you go. Chances are I'll never be pulled over by him because that never works for me. I try to make him laugh, and I end up getting myself a ticket, so that doesn't always work out. All right, you ready for a strange law?
Sure thing.
In Hartford, Connecticut, it's against the law to walk across the street on your hands. I don't know why that's illegal, but it is in Hartford, Connecticut. That's a strange law, and this has been your Scoop of the Day.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by Knowles Systems. If you have funds earning less than 6%, listen to this. Commercial mortgage bridge loans pay 6% to 8%. That might be just what you need. You're placed in first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels, apartments, and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges, and you can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. Start earning 6%. Go to commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com right now. What are you waiting for? Go to commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com. Again, that's commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for joining us on the John and Heidi Show this Friday. I've got a guest actually in the studio right now. I've got Nick Kolterman here. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Very, very good. And you've got a book called Enhance, and it's your path to healthy, happy feet. So let's first of all talk about why you're writing books about feet. You have something to do with the foot industry, don't you?
I do, actually. A little bit of my background. I went to school for orthotic and prosthetics. I'm a practitioner as a podorthist, it's called, and not a lot of people know what we do.
A podorthist?
Yep.
So you work on... What is that? What is it that you do?
A lot of people think it's podiatry, but it's actually we work with podiatrists. We're not an MD. We actually see patients off of scripts from orthopedic guys, podiatry, and foot care. We treat the foot non-invasively, so we do a lot of things with orthotics and putting patients in the right shoes. We treat diabetes. You know, a lot of times we see patients from all different walks of life, but the key is that we treat things non-invasively, and we try to help patients live a healthier, happier life. Because a lot of people have foot problems out there, but they don't know who to turn to, and a lot of times they go to a foot doctor or they see somebody, but they don't know any other avenue out there to take.
Nice. And you have a business in Sioux Falls. What is the name of the business?
Yeah, we actually own two businesses. One is Orthotic and Prosthetic Innovations. That's where we treat patients and we see patients, and then we own a shoe store called Fit My Feet.
I've seen that before. I've heard of that. So
Yes.
it's on Minnesota Avenue, is that right?
29th in Minnesota, or right across from Dairy Queen.
Very, very
Yeah.
cool. Now, let's talk about your book, Enhance. First of all, how long has this book been available?
We aired it on Amazon the day after Thanksgiving.
Nice.
So it is on Amazon. It's on Kindle. You can download it as an ebook. But it's been out there since November.
Very cool. Now, what was the inspiration to write the book? I'm assuming that it's probably, you've had people ask questions and you're going, hey, you know what? I can answer all of these in a book. Or there's got to be a story.
Yeah, there is. Well, this is my 10th year of doing this and helping people with foot care needs. And what inspired me to write the book was a lot of patients come in and a lot of customers come in, and a lot of times they don't have a clear understanding on what's going on with their feet. They just know they hurt.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they go to the doctor and the doctor sees them. And, a lot of them have big words for, the diagnosis on what's going on. So my thing was I wanted to simplify it. I wanted to have somebody be able to pick this book up, have it less than 100 pages, and read it and have a clear understanding on why they should take better care of their feet. And not only that, but some simple diagnoses in layman's terms on really what's going on. So when they see that and they read it, they go, well, I have that exact thing going on. Well, this is probably what I have, and how do I treat it? And so, there's a lot of simple ideas in my book on taking care of your feet to have them pain-free.
Very cool. Again, visiting with Nick Kolterman. He's the author of Enhance, Your Path to Healthy, Happy Feet, a best-selling how do I say it? Pedorthic book on Amazon. I'm going to let you say that line. 'Cause it's a best-selling book, which I want to mention. How do you say that? It's the
Pedorthis. Yep.
All right, the
Pedorthic.
best-selling Pedorthoric. I still can't say it. It's a good book on Amazon. We'll say that. So for people that have pain with their feet, what would be a good reason for them to pick up a copy of the book? Is there information in here on things they can do?
Absolutely, yeah. When you flip through the chapters in the book, the first part of the book is relatively easy to read. We talk about holistic health and being non-invasive, and there's a lot of avenues to take out there. A lot of people go to Walmart and buy Dr. Scholl's pads and try different things over the counter, and they self-diagnose a lot of times, or they're trying to figure out what they have going on, and they spend hundreds of dollars on appliances for their shoes and things like that. And then the other side of it, the consumer that goes in and buys a pair of shoes that they're looking at a wall of shoes, and there's 100 shoes on that wall. How do they know what shoe to buy? And my key was when we started Fit My Feet and we wrote this book, what I wanted to focus on was the fact that shoes are different. Every pair of shoes are different. So when we look at a wall of shoes and we actually have a practitioner on staff in our shoe store, it's much easier because we know the kinesiology and the dynamics of how the foot moves with biomechanics, and when we also know the selection of all the shoes that we carry. So if we know where the pain is, or we know a problem with the foot, we can direct that customer into the right pair of shoes, and they're spending good money on the shoe, but they know they're getting in the right shoe and that it's going to help their feet.
Very nice.
So,
now, I was telling you earlier, when I was a young man, one of my first jobs, I remember there was a lady that had walked by, and she had some interesting looking shoes, and I had noticed them for some reason, and I commented on them, and she was telling me that they were orthotic shoes, and she said, John, I'm going to teach you a lesson early in life. If your feet aren't comfortable, it doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to be comfortable.
Yeah.
She said, get comfortable shoes, and if you've got that covered, then everything else is going to follow. And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and to touch on that, a lot of people, they come in, and a couple key points in my book, like I talk about, many don't seek foot care until they're already experiencing a laundry list of issues,
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people let things go, and my analogy to that is when your eyes are starting to go bad and you go into the eye doctor, you want to be able to see. So, majority of people will spend $300-400 on glasses because they don't want to go blind, and they have to be able to drive and read a book and, do different daily tasks with their eyes. But most people, when it comes to foot pain, they let things go. They let it, filter into something that gets worse and worse, and it becomes a chronic issue. And then they realize that, man, I've been dealing with this for 6-8 months. Maybe I should go see a doctor, or what avenue do I take? Where do I go? Yeah. And the nice thing is it's good to go see those people, but there's another avenue to take out there, and most people don't look at their foot care needs with footwear, or they don't look at it with orthotics or other things out there that can help. So.
Again, our guest today, Nick Kolterman. Nick, where can I find a copy of the book Enhance? Is it? I know it's on Amazon. Best-selling book.
It's on Amazon. You can download it on Amazon. It's an ebook online. Just type in Google Enhance Your Path to Healthy, Happy Feet. You can get it on Amazon. And if you do pick up a copy, write a review. We're trying to get some reviews out there online. So it's relatively new, and there's a lot of good information in there. It's the first chapter. When you start reading it, it's going to be an eye opener for you, and you're going to realize that all the foot problems and stuff that you've been dealing with, there's another avenue to take on getting them healed up. So
nice. I'm looking forward to checking it out. Thanks for bringing a copy in. Again, our guest today is Nick Kolterman. Again, the book is called Enhance Your Path to Healthy, Happy Feet, and it is available at Amazon. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
At LAX, they use methane to produce electricity.
Okay.
Do you know where the methane comes from?
I have no clue.
Leftover food. So if you're ever at LAX, don't finish all of your meal because they'll run out of electricity. So there you go. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In Australia, a common Boxing Day activity is surfing.
Oh.
So there you go. Something to do on Boxing Day. You'd think boxing might be a common. Anyway, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In the 1930s, American track star Jesse Owens, that dude was fast. He used to race against horses and dogs to earn a living. So there you go.
Crazy.
One of the fastest men alive. Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Karate. Where is it from? You might think Japan.
Japan.
Or China. Well, it actually originated in India and was developed further in China. And our final fun fact for you. When the Pez mint dispenser was first introduced, it was meant to replace the activity of smoking. Did you know that?
I did know that. I actually collected Pez for quite some time.
And you knew that they were originally
did.
to create, and there you go. See, now you know.
I did, because you're still got something to do with your hands. You can play with that fun little toy. And that's what most smokers say is the problem with smoking is that they have to have something to do with their hands.
There you go. Well, now you know. A couple of fun facts for you on The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of The John and Heidi Show is brought to you by RadioReallyWorks.com. I know you're listening to a podcast, but did you know the John and Heidi Show is also a radio show? And for those of you who have businesses, you should consider using radio to advertise your business. We can even help you create some catchy little jingles or amazing radio ads that will help pull people in. Get all the details or just learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Want to be depressed and miserable, Heidi?
No, nobody wants to be depressed and miserable.
Well, here's some things you can do if you want to be depressed and miserable. So, here's some things you can avoid if you don't want to be depressed and miserable. This is from Dr. Charles Beckert, Ph.D. Really concentrate on the mistakes you've made, especially the mistakes you can't do anything about. That'll make you miserable. These are things to avoid if you don't want to be depressed. Avoid always comparing yourself to others. Because if you compare yourself to others, you're going to look at their best traits and your worst traits.
That's true.
Next thing to avoid, when somebody else has a problem, be sure to make it your problem too. That'll make you miserable. Spend as much time and energy as possible criticizing and judging yourself and everyone else. These are things that'll make you miserable. So again, avoid these things. It says you can also avoid making sure that you look at the bad side of everything. There's always something bad to be found in every situation. If you want to be miserable, just always look at the negative. If you want to be miserable, try to be a perfectionist. Set goals for yourself that have to be way too high. Also, hole up in your room. And it's hole up. It's not hold up. Did you know that?
Yes, I knew it was hole
I
up.
thought it was hold up in your room. Anyway, hole up in your room. Avoid friends and family because they might accidentally cheer you up or something. If you want to be miserable, always strive to please everyone all the time. Make sure that you don't waste any energy on making yourself happy. Again, not sure why he put a list together of things to make you miserable, but we'll continue. Let your self-worth be decided by whether others like and accept you. That'll help make you miserable. Base your worth as a person on how you look and what you have. That'll make you miserable. Don't ever forgive yourself. Hold a grudge against all the dumb things you've ever done in life. That'll make you miserable. So far, how you doing on this list, Heidi?
Actually, so far, I have a lot of these traits.
You got to quit doing these things. Avoid doing anything new or empowering yourself, because that would maybe make you happy and might make you successful. At all costs, avoid activities and people where you feel good. Last two things on the list of things that make you miserable. Make sure that your self-worth is based on whether or not you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, because, that's key, isn't it? No, it's not.
No.
And the last one, it says, some people find that they're miserable being miserable. If this is you, maybe you should do the opposite of all the things we just talked about, and then you'll see what it feels like to feel wonderful.
There you go.
Do that. That's a much better idea. Little advice from the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
All I can say about this next story is ouch. If someone ever says it's better be safe than sorry, they've never met Elizabeth Medford, because she was safe and sorry at the same time. As a matter of fact, she got her hand stuck in the 7-Eleven store safe. Ouch!
Oh.
She's been dropping off rolls of coins in the safe, and the rolls kept falling out. She pushed her finger further into the
my
deposit
gosh.
chute, trying to get them to stay put, and that was when her hand got stuck in the deposit chute, and it wouldn't budge.
Oh.
Short time later, she was on a gurney with a 3-foot-tall, 600-pound safe latched onto her hand.
Oh, my gosh.
Paramedics drove her straight past a hospital to an industrial shop where workers used a small crane to lift Medford and the safe onto a makeshift operating table. Workers there removed the safe's locking mechanism and soon freed her hand. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you see a hole in a safe that your finger fits into, don't put it in there. It's a bad idea. Not
Well,
that
she
I
knows
thought
that
you would have
now.
to. Yeah, now you tell me. Of course I know
It wasn't
now.
a note.
Coming up, we've got some kissing happening. We're going to tell you all about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
I like to kiss. I like to give you a little smooch here and there. Do you like to kiss?
I like to kiss.
If you couldn't kiss, would you sue somebody?
No.
Well, a Chinese woman is seeking compensation after a car accident left her unable to eat properly, and it causes her harm and suffering and short-term memory loss. But she's not suing because of those things. She's suing because she claims that accident, which left her with 2 broken front teeth and a cut lip, has hindered her ability to kiss. Yeah.
Probably not forever. I'm sure
No.
that front lip is going to
She's
heal.
suing the driver that caused the accident for $4,700.
Oh, well, that's
The
not a
lawsuit
whole lot.
accuses the driver of depriving the woman of her rights to her body, health, and kissing and property. Legal experts in China say that so far the Chinese legal system does not cover kissing rights, but her case could fall under compensation regulation based on personal damages. So
Yeah,
we'll
she
all
should probably just be going after the
Yeah.
damages that she really has.
We'll be on the sidelines to see what happens on this kissy little case over in China, because that's kind of interesting. Coming up in a bit, we're going to be talking about being a kid and how much hard work that is. Yeah, that's on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by Knowles Systems. If you have funds earning less than 6%, listen to this. Commercial mortgage bridge loans pay 6% to 8%. That might be just what you need. You're placed in first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels, apartments, and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges, and you can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. I'll give you a toll-free number to call, 888-547-8007. Start earning 6% now. Call 888-547-8007.
John and Heidi.
Being a kid is hard work, Heidi.
Yes, it is.
All work and no play can make your kids dull. Dull boys, dull girls. The American Academy of Pediatrics has a few thoughts on this matter.
All right.
The American Academy of Pediatrics, Pat, I said it right the first time. The American Academy of Pediatrics, that's just fun to say. They say that kids need more good old-fashioned playtime for healthy development. They say parents can overdo it on the educational videos and classes that help kids excel. That even goes for organized sports activities like soccer. While that lets kids run around, they're still being told what to do. Numerous studies have shown that unstructured play can actually help children become creative, discover their own passions, develop problem-solving skills, relate that to others. They can help. That can also help them relate to others. And it says here it also helps them adjust to school settings. Plus, it's just a whole lot of fun. And I can tell you, I think that's so true. When I was a kid, it would get, in the summertime, it'd get bright out early. We would hit the road on our bicycles. We would be gone all day.
Yep, we would too.
And it wasn't structured. It's not like we got to be at batting practice at this time.
No, we would just be out with our friends on our bikes.
Tennis at this time. We were out doing kid stuff. And for the most part, we stayed out of trouble. I'm saying for the most part because some people listening might have been with me while we were being hoodlums. So I'm just saying, I'm not going to claim that we didn't do anything wrong. But for the most part, we behaved ourselves. And they're saying that you should let kids just be kids.
Yep.
Instead of having everything so darn structured.
Unfortunately, though, today,
it doesn't have to
you
be. You
can't just let your kids do that anymore.
They don't have to wander. They can do this in their own backyard. Say, hey, go outside and play. What am I going to do out there?
Go in the yard.
Just play. Go have
play
fun
in
in the
the yard.
backyard. Nowadays it's like you're going to go out and you're going to play this game by these rules, and it's all that structure that's causing all kinds of issues. So let your kids just be kids. That's a good idea. Little advice there from Aunt Heidi and Uncle John.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap this program up with some good news, and I think this is really kind of an interesting story here. Barbara and Zach recently entered the Clark County Jail in Jeffersonville, Indiana. Now, this is a little different than most people who are going to Jeffersonville, Indiana's Clark County Jail, because this is their first day of lockup in a place known for violence, illicit activity. But Barbara and Zach, they've got one difference from the other inmates. These two volunteered to go to jail.
Oh.
They're part of a 7-volunteer group going undercover as inmates to expose what really happens behind the bars for a new reality show from A&E called 60 Days In.
No, thank you.
For 60 days in, these innocent people are given fake identities, and they serve time for fake crimes, but their consequences are very real. They really are serving like every other inmate. Nobody on the inside, neither guards nor fellow inmates, knew that Zach and Barbara and the other participants were actually part of a reality show. They had no clue. I'm not sure
What
how
about
they
all
filmed
those
all
cameras
this.
following you around? That didn't tip somebody off?
Well, I'm not sure. Maybe they said there was a reality show of some other kind going on. But they didn't know that these people were involved in it.
Huh.
So they were pretending to be criminals to see what it's really like on the inside. I have a friend that I talked to not too long ago who was in jail. He had been doing some silly things, drinking and driving. That's not good. So he got to go to jail for a little while. And when I was talking to him, he was telling me what it's like. And I would not want to go there.
No.
And I think that's good. It's good that it's not cushy because you want it to be punishment.
Well, yeah.
If it was like, oh, it's awesome, it's like summer camp, well, then that's not really going to deter people from going there.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see how they play this up on this reality series on A&E. It's called 60 Days In. I have no idea when it's going to start, but Barbara and Zach are two of the people, so fascinating stuff. Who knows? Maybe you and I could go behind bars for 60 days.
Oh, no, thank you.
Check it out and see how it goes.
No, I'm not
You don't want to do
interested.
that?
Not at all.
Not interested? Do the John and Heidi show from San Quentin or something? No? All right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Don't go to jail. Have all kinds of fun and behave and obey the laws. Have a great weekend as well. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the good folks at Knowles Systems. And if you haven't heard of them, well, you need to listen up because I got to tell you all about this. If you have funds earning less than 6%, maybe you should check into a better system like Knowles Systems. They have commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com. If you've never heard of a commercial mortgage bridge loan, I'm going to tell you what this is. It's a loan paying 6% to 8%, and it could be just what you need. You're placed in the first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels and apartments and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges. You can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. If you'd like more info on how you can start earning 6% or more right now, call 888-547-8007. I'll give you that number again in a second, but first, you might want to just check out the website if that's easier. CommercialMortgageBridgeLoans.com. Again, CommercialMortgageBridgeLoans.com or 888-547-8007.
John and Heidi.
Have you ever wondered who invented the internet and why?
Well, we already know it was Al Gore.
Well, the funny thing is, there are rumors that it was Al Gore that invented the internet, but that's not quite the case. Let me explain. It all began in 1969 with ARPANET, a small restricted computer network that allowed scientists at the Pentagon doing research to communicate. In the early 1980s, military research was shifted to another network, and the National Science Foundation took over the old ARPANET technology, and they opened it to the public. At first, it was only techies that showed up online because other people didn't really know how to do that. Graduate schools connected. Then, as PCs proliferated, public online services such as CompuServe were started. The point-and-click web with graphics arrived in the early 90s, and it all culminated with mailbits.com, which no longer is in existence now. But that was one of the first things. And do you remember back in the day, America Online? Remember that? They're still around. But do you remember they would send out CDs like every other day? You'd get a CD.
I never had AOL. So
I didn't have one either. But did you get the CDs in the mail? Do you remember those?
Probably, and they also probably got thrown in the garbage.
When I was a kid, I remember getting, it was like, I don't know, 5 of those a month at least. We'd get CDs all the time. And I was keeping them because I just thought it was funny. I was like, I just threw one of these away. Why'd they send me another one? So then I started keeping them, and I had a big stack of America Online CDs. I finally threw them away because I'm like, I don't even use that. I don't know why I'm keeping them. It was kind of dumb, but anyway. Hey, I got signs here that you have a bad boss.
Okay.
All right. First sign that you have a bad boss. Your office bathroom key is tied to an angry ferret. It's a pretty good sign. He uses all the old jars of whiteout to paint on his fingernails.
Okay.
Strict no talking policy during the Price is Right. That's a pretty good sign you've got a bad boss. Another sign, every time he returns from McDonald's, he brings you a job application. Signs you have a bad boss. Annual company retreat is at the local Texaco, and you all get Cheetos and Yoo-hoo. That would have been funnier if I wouldn't have goofed that up. Instead of replacing the broken copy machine, he hired a guy to just sit in there with a pen and write whatever you need copied. Every time he comes to your cubicle, the people in your family photos stop smiling. That's a good sign you have a bad boss. And the last sign is the unbearable stench of Vicks Vapor Rub and cheddar cheese in his office.
Ew.
There you go. Not exactly sure what that's from, but that does sound pretty yucky. And should we wrap things up here with this bonus break?
Yeah.
I used to have a lot more great stuff for bonus breaks, but I deleted the file that I had all that stuff saved on.
That's all right. It's Friday. We can knock off a little early.
Here's our last bonus break right here. A St. Louis, Missouri lawyer, I thought this was really funny, was arrested recently for giving his clients extravagant gifts over the span of 7 years and then inflating their bills with phony charges
to cover those gifts.
So he could make them pay for their own gifts.
Oh, my goodness.
Michael Lazaroff pled guilty to federal charges that he gave clients gifts over 7 years, totaling, are you ready for this? $380,000.
Wow.
He charged them for these gifts and then handed the gift over to him. He's like, oh, hey, you guys deserve this nice little vase. By the way, I billed you for the vase. You bought your own gift. I think that was funny. I'm glad that he got caught. That's the wrong thing to do. Don't do that kind of stuff. That's going to do it for your bonus break, brought to you by Knowles Systems. If you have funds earning less than 6%, maybe you should check into a commercial mortgage bridge loan. They pay 6 to 8%, and it's an awesome way. If you're interested in having your money do something for you, it's an awesome way to do it. Check it out. Get all the details at commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com.